Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Guys Stuff. Today I'm doing a really simple, tasty, creamy, spicy curry chicken. This is an easy recipe to make, very inexpensive, and it scales very well. Now, for those of you new, I do big batches of stuff because when I'm going to take the time to cook, I'm going to make it count, and I love leftovers. This is going to make about 20 or so servings, so you can very easily just cut everything in half if you just want to make one big, nice family meal and still have a little left over. There is not much prep to this. Let's go through the ingredients here, and then I'm going to get started. I've got a bundle of cilantro. I've got some curry powder. This is going to call for a couple lemons worth of juice. You can go fresh, of course, if you want to. I'm just using the old squeeze bottle. I'm going to use a couple sticks of cinnamon, some cayenne powder for the heat. And this recipe, like I said, it's customizable. You can make it as spicy or not as you like. I'm not going to be using a whole lot because I think the wife is going to have some of this, but you can certainly kick it up. We've got one big bottle of chicken stock. Now, I've got a special combination of coconut items here, and this is going to make a really nice creamy base. I've got 1 can of coconut milk, 2 of cream of coconut, and then 4 cans of coconut water. You can make it simpler and just use 4 cans of coconut milk, but it won't be quite as creamy. I've got 1 small piece of ginger root. We're going to use 1 stick of butter, 8 cloves worth of minced garlic. Of course, you could use fresh and mince those yourself. 1 small can of tomato paste, 2 large cans of diced tomatoes, just plain. Don't get the Italian seasoned ones. I've got 4 white onions, some salt, some pepper, and 8 chicken breasts. That's about it. It's going to come together very quickly. Most of the prep is just chopping. Step 1 is to clean and finely dice the chicken. What you want to make is small squares of chicken, about half teaspoon size or so. You want them very bite size, and that's going to make all the flavors just really come together with the chicken. So I'm going to go ahead and start that. After that, all I'm going to do is finely chop up the onions, and then we will be ready to go. Let's get started. Okay, got everything prepped. Got the onions chopped up. You don't need to dice them, but just nice small little chunks. Chicken is ready. Make sure you get it real nice and lean. All right, these are, thumbnail sized chunks at the most. You're going to get some juice in there. Make sure that doesn't go in. So you can pat them dry if you want. But this is going to go in a little bit later. First thing we have to do is heat up some butter. You want to heat it up slowly. You don't want it to brown. And the first thing we're going to do is saute the garlic and the onions and the ginger. We're going to cook all this down for a good 15-20 minutes. You want to do it slow, medium-low heat. You don't want anything to brown. What we're looking to do is sweat the onions, get them super soft and tender, so they're just going to melt in like we're doing a soup. Oops, sorry for bumping the camera there. Now here's a tip on the ginger. You want to peel and mince that last, because man, that stuff dries out faster than you can blink. And if you were to do it earlier and then prep your onions and your chicken, because it does take some time. It's about a half an hour to chop all this stuff up. Yeah, ginger is going to be real kind of nasty. So I've got it minced up real well. Definitely use a fresh. I don't suggest using a powder, or even worse, one of those tubes of paste. Those are absolutely disgusting. Super easy to peel this stuff. I mean, I just chop it kind of like doing a cucumber. You don't have to worry about getting every little tiny bit. And then when you're slicing it, all you have to do is go with the grain, and then it's very soft. It's a root, so if you try to go against the grain, man, it's like trying to chop through a little piece of wood. But it's very easy just doing it the right way. That's all it takes. That was about a half palm size. It's going to add a real nice little zing to the dish. All right, now we got to put in our garlic. And this again is a little bit to taste. In my opinion, you can never have enough. I'm a huge garlic fan. Now I'm doing about 8 cloves worth, 8 teaspoons of this minced stuff. I'm going to do them heaping because I love garlic. This stuff's really great, by the way. This is not the big one. I ran out. I usually get this at Sam's, and it's like 3 times the size for like $8. Absolutely fantastic deal. That should be good enough. You can get it at just about any store, and it's just as good as fresh. It really is. Keeps for a long time. I mean, I like fresh garlic, but compared to just scooping it out, kind of a pain in the butt to work with. Know what I mean? Alright, so I'm going to stir this every now and again. You do not want any of this to burn. It's going to take about 5 minutes for everything to start to get hot. Those onions will start releasing their moisture. And we just want to cook this down. I've got it on medium-low. Whoops, sorry, bumped the camera again. My kitchen really sucks. Man, I want a bigger one in my next house. So as soon as this gets really soft and fall apart tender, we'll be ready for the next step. Just stir it every few minutes and you'll be good to go. Now that everything's nice and softened up, I'm going to put in our tomato paste. Come on. A little bit left. There we go. And we're going to put in a couple sticks of cinnamon. Whoop. A little bit on my hand there. We're not going to eat the cinnamon. These are just going to flavor the dish. Unlike bay leaves, you just pick them out later. I'm going to put in some cayenne. Now I'm doing a few tablespoons worth. Again, this is to taste. This is a spicy dish after all. And I'm doing a half bottle of the curry powder, about 1 ounce. This is really the star of the show, so you don't want to skimp on this. There's no heat in it. It's all flavor. There we go. Alright, stir that in a bit. I can smell the curry already. Obviously. Get it mixed in. Now we're going to put in our liquids. In goes the chicken stock. After everything's in, stir it in really well. Keep it on a medium to low heat. And you're going to bring everything up to temperature slowly. We're not looking to boil. We're just looking for a nice simmer. Just clean off the spoon here. Alright. In go the coconut waters. If you've never tried cans of coconut water, oh my gosh, is it delicious. Pretty darn healthy too. Beware of drinking too much of it though. It does work as a laxative. But the flavor is just fantastic. There's 4 cans of coconut water. Now I've got a can of the coconut milk, which is kind of like a combination of the water and the cream. And then we have 2 cans of the coconut cream, which is a lot thicker, more of a paste. And there we go. 1 more of those. Don't worry if you see this solid part on the top, that's just the cream separating out. You want all of it. This is what's going to give us that really rich flavor and sweetness out of the dish. Alright, give this a nice stir. And again, we're going to let this heat up slowly. You don't want any part of this dish to be burned or browned or anything like that. It's all about taking it easy. Just make sure the solid parts of the cream get mixed in. It'll be easier once they heat up. Doesn't take much. Stir it every 5 minutes or so. This is going to take about a good half an hour to really come up to a solid simmer. If you're doing a half batch, it won't take quite that long. Oh, almost forgot salt and pepper. Putting in about a tablespoon each right now. And you can always add more later to taste, which is what I prefer to do. But that's the bare minimum for this dish. Do a couple teaspoons if you're doing a small batch. Let that go. We're now at a very, very gentle boil. What we're looking for is it to reduce a bit. So once we're up to temp here, nice full simmer, give it a good 20-30 minutes, and we're looking to drop this by about 20%. And that should be a nice, thick curry sauce at that point, and all the flavors melting in. Now while I've been doing this, I prepped the cilantro. Just want to take all the big leaves off, run your knife through it a few times. You're looking to just chop them up a little bit and start to release that oil. That's what you want. So after this reduces a little bit, we're going to throw in the rest of our stuff, and we're almost done. Okay, that's looking real good. Starting to thicken up. Make sure nothing's burned on the bottom. And again, you just have to give it a quick little stir every 5 minutes or so, and it'll take care of itself. In go the tomatoes. Carefully. Don't feel like a big tomato mess on my hands. Got 2 cans of these. We're keeping the heat on a medium to low. Again, nothing about this recipe is real fast or hot. I'm going to put in about a third of this little lemon squeezer of juice. A couple lemons worth. That's all you need. Now in goes the chicken. And again, if you notice some water pooling, which I do here, just dump it out real quick. Okay. Carefully in goes the chicken. Another reason you want the chicken nice and small is that the smaller the chicken is, the more flavor it's going to pick up. If you do big old chunks of chicken, well, it doesn't really penetrate down into the center of the pieces as much. Get that in there. And last but not least, in goes the cilantro. Now we're going to let it come back up to temp. And we're going to let this simmer for at least a half an hour. Pretty much the longer the better for this. It's kind of like a slow cooker recipe. Everything's going to get better with time. But a minimum of a half an hour. So budget for that if you're making this for dinner. It will be absolutely delicious once it comes back up to temp and simmers for that half hour, and it'll be ready to go. Salt and pepper further to taste. I prefer to get it really close in the pot and then let everybody do their own thing. Alright, and again, just give it a quick stir every 10 minutes or so just to make sure there's nothing burning on the bottom. That's all we have to do from this point out. We'll come back when it's done. Okay, after a good half hour low simmer, that is smelling delicious. Looks good. Chicken will get more tender the more time you give it. Let's taste test it. Make sure I don't have anything sticking to the bottom. Alright, good to go. Get some chicken, get some of that cilantro, and of course this delicious curry sauce. Woo! That is hot. I mean, temperature hot. That looks good. Oh yeah. Oh man. This is going to be all for me. The wife will not like this. It's amazing. It has a real sweet kick as soon as you taste it. Then the heat builds. That cayenne comes in, which is a nice sweet pepper on its own, but it's got a lot of heat because I put a lot in there. Now it's dying down. I don't know, she might. Man, the sweetness is beautiful. Most of the cinnamon flavors are coming through. And of course the sweetness from all the coconut cream. And it does have a real creamy taste to it. But it's got that curry kick too. And the chicken just falls apart in your mouth. And that'll get, like I said, better with time. Let's see how tender it is here. Come on now. Yeah, just splits with a spoon. This is why you want the chunks real small. You can see the inside, you know, it's not really going to get a lot of that flavor. It's still nice and juicy, but the spices and everything do penetrate a little bit into the meat. So you want it to penetrate as much as possible. That's what she said. This is like dessert delicious. Wow. This batch came out good. Alright, so there you go, guys. Creamy, spicy curry chicken. Super easy, very inexpensive. Absolutely delicious. Guarantee you, if you haven't tried it, you're going to love it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, share the video, share the site, and we'll see you next time. Gotta have some more of this.